for go nowhere. So this topic right here that I'm touching on is an international vibes in, because it appears that in the United States the banks them a crash, whole heap of money coming out of the stash. Now, because it appears that the President of the United States a guarantee people say them money safe. But guess what? I don't want you to take the bet. Because I man, I got reason about this and tell you about the money state. Because as the United States catch a temperature, Jamaica is going to catch a fever. A full fever. Me not talk about a cold, I just a little temperature. Because as you hear, I don't know if you're hearing what's going on. I'm not swearing about what's going on. 2 big banks crash in a foreign. Money gone. As President Joe Biden has insisted that the system was saved after a second and a third, the second and the third largest bank fail in national history happened in 48 hours. Panic. The people them panic. Cause them say, God damn it, I need my money. And them panic. So bulletins are out. And it's unfortunate that this is going on because these things are planned. And that is what I want to talk about. Now, as the government reassure the United States banker said the bank system safe, it doesn't appears that the people them care about that. The people them appears to want the money. So guess what? The people them running into the bank and I draw out the money. A 2 bank gone under. You are going to, one of them is called Signature Bank. And the other one, what them say gone under, I'm going to say SVL or something like that. SV Bank. Yeah, SV Bank. And the SV Bank is the Silicon Valley Bank. And those banks are so big, them can't go under. I lie them I tell. I'm gonna let you know what's going on. Cause New York, United States President Joe Biden insisted Monday that the national bank system was safe, seeking to project the claim after the collapse of 2 banks stirred fear and brought an upheaval on the promotion of regulation offering emergency loan to the bank to starve off the additional failure. Your deposit will be there when you need them, Biden said. Despite of the message from the White House, investors continue to dump shares in the bank stock. Shares of the First Republic Bank plunged more than 70%, even after the bank said that it was accessing emergency funding from the Federal Reserve, as well as additional funds from JP Morgan Chase. U.S. regulators closed the Silicon Valley Bank on Fridays as depositors rushed to withdraw their funds all at once. It was the second largest bank failure in the U.S. history, beyond only in 2008 failure in Washington Mutual. New-based Signature Bank also collapsed in the 3rd largest failure in the history. Speaking from the White House shortly. Listen, before the trip to West Coast, the president said that he's seeking to hold those responsible accountable, are peer talking because they are the one that's accountable and responsible. And the press for better oversight and regulation of large bank. He promised that no loss would be borne by taxpayers. We must get the full accounting of what happens, he said. Americans can have confidence that the banking system is safe. Biden also said that the management of the bank should be fired. If the bank is taken over by FDIC, the people running the bank should not work there anymore, he said, referring to the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation and agents' responsibility to ensure that the stability of the bank system. Now, Michael Berry, a teacher who was a Silicon Valley banker on Monday, said members of the FDIC bank employee were available to answer questions. Berry, who also ran an off-school program of children, wanted to make sure that her 4 employees were paid. She said she was told that all checks from Friday would be honored only with her automatic payment. Berry left enough in our account to cover the payment, but she transferred the bulk of the money over to another bank. She said Biden's reassurance was helpful. I'm from South Africa. Chances are if this happened in South Africa, nobody would insure your money, she said. International regulation also had to step in to ease investors' fear. The Bank of England and UK Treasury said that had facilitated the sale of the Silicon Valley subsidiary in London to HSBC, Europe's biggest bank. The deal projected to be $6.7 billion and £8.1 billion of deposit. Under the plan announced by U.S. regulators, depositors at Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank, including those whose holding exceeded $250,000 insured limit, will be able to accept their money on Monday. Under a new Fed program, this is not federal government, Federal Reserve program, banks can deposit those securities as collaterals and borrow from the emergency facility. Okay, the treasurer has set aside $25 billion to offset their loss incurred. Fed officials said, however, that they do not expect to have to use any of the money given that the securities posed as collateral have a very low risk of default. You hear them people here? A thief another $25 billion out of poor people pocket. New York bank regulators took possession of the Signature Bank. You hear that? New York bank regulators took possession of the Signature Bank. So HSBC and take away the next one. And me I talk about a whole heap of money. But 80% of them people here have over $250,000 in them bank. Them have whole heap of money in this bank. Okay? Ousting its leader. Okay, so New York bankers regulators took possession of the bank, ousting its leader, handing day-to-day control over to the FDIC as part of a move to which the federal government agreed to guarantee full deposit, even those over $250,000. You hear that? So the federal government is guaranteeing this money, which these people are people who invested in high risk things, and once couple of them take out their money, the bank start dropping. And then pull out the money for purpose to drop them money. The New York government, Katie Hochul, described that the decision by the State Department of Finance Service and amid the hold of a big crisis involving more banks. Or our view was to make sure that the entire banking community here in New York was stable, that we can claim, Hochul said in a news conference Monday. She said a high volume of withdrawals that began last week continued with online transactions throughout the weekend. The bank was open Monday under the name of Signature Bank. So you see, there are certain people that are rich that are causing this on purpose. They're tanking the money on purpose. They're taking out the currency on purpose. Signature, which was found more than 2 decades ago, was about 40 offices across the country and say it focused on banking for privately owned business, their owners, and senior management. So you see, a big money there here, sir. Though Sunday step marked the most extensive government intervention in the banking system since 2018 financial crash. Who was in power then? Democrats. The action were relatively limited compared to 15 years ago. Who was in power then? The two failure banks themselves have been rescued, and taxpayer money has been provided to help them. Some prominent Silicon Valley executives fear that the Washington did not rescue the failed bank because consumer would make a run on the financial institute in the coming days. Stock price plunged over the last few days. Other banks that cater to technology company such as First Republic, right, and PacWest Bank, among the bank's customers are the range of companies including many Californian banks that rely on Silicon Valley for loan and technology, startup devoted to contributed climate change. You hear that? Startup, it says, among banks consumers that are range company including many California wineries that rely on Silicon Valley loans and technology startup that are devoted to combating climate change. So them slide that in there now, which I can make it look like say rare. Like say it's all that important. Listen to me, family and friends. You see up here, so what you see me up on the screen? US CBD. Joe Biden just signed in about 2 days ago to make the US digital currency. So the manual money where them have, the paper money, is going to get devalued. And they're doing a lot of these things purposefully. They're making the SBF crash the crypto coin. And next one right after crash, now you have the bank crashing. So they're gonna make it look like say it's safer for them to take control of the money. So Joe Biden just signed in what they call a CBDC. It's a central bank digital currency. And that is what this is all about. When Europeans come up with nefarious ideas, because these things can't be come up by one person. And when you talk about these kind of things, they say you are a conspiracist. And that's the best mind to have, is a conspiratorial mind. That means that you're thinking about how they're doing their crime from different angle. And one of them is true, because if you can think it in your mind, it's possible. So what they're doing right now is to basically digitize all of the money. And each of the money now, money can be programmed. And the money can become now a tracking thing for you, because right now Susan Zerboff already told us that the economy has changed from capitalism to surveillance capitalism. Everyone is monetized right now. Everyone is monetized. That's why they are so in a hurry to give everybody a phone. 3, 4, 5 phone. Because when you get the phone, that's an actual IP that follows you. Software's on your phone telling your habits. They tell you to set up your preference. So it's telling you, you're picking how you want to be targeted. So here we have digital currency. Once the government control the money, and the money can be programmed, meaning that your money can be programmed to buy only certain things. Your money can be programmed to, can be turned off actually. Can be seized. Your account can be seized. And that is what is going on. And believe it or not, when these things are actually in full effect, the people that are signing them in now will be long gone. And that is the way that Rome continue its manipulation and its firm grip. They use the current administration to sign in policies that would affect you 10, 15, 20 years later. And then when they're removed now and those policies get enforced by the next administration, they are gone. Laughing, canoeing on their boat, sucking on some little, straws out of a coconut on Hawaii or something. But that is what's going on right now. The United States, China, and all these top governments, what they're signing in, they're bringing in what they call a CBDC. central bank digital currency. And in order to be able to participate in that financial realm, meaning that in order to have money, to have the digital currency, you're going to need a digital ID. And the digital ID is basically your lifeline, because once you have a digital ID and you need money, your digital ID will identify you wherever you are. And by that digital ID, you'll be able to be tracked. Just like how they're doing everyone that have a phone now. Because everyone that has a phone have a COVID trace software on it that we have forgotten about, because they make sure they update you with the new biometrics phone now. That you can, as soon as you click on an app, the microphone come on. You have to turn the microphone off on all your app. And even if your phone is put down and you're not using none of the app, these new phones listen to you. So basically what they're doing is they're creating a financial system that is a software, that is an AI, that is an artificial intelligence that can be programmed to not work. When you have your money in your hand, you have a hand in the game. When it's a software, you have to bow to master. You have to listen. If he say don't go out there and you get some money, that's how you're going to do it. And even if you have your money on your card or whatever they're going to call it in your digital wallet, because they're making it sound like it's all so great, they could turn it off for whatever reason if you don't comply with whatever their policy is. You all guarantee what I'm saying. So this is what's going on. When you see banks or high events happen, it doesn't happen accidentally. It's the oligarchs that you hear Joe Biden talking about, that most oligarchs has been documented to live in America. And they are Democrats. You don't think that Republicans are rich like Democrats. Democrats are the richer side of the government. So when you see they come in and they're putting in these policies, there's nefarious reasons behind them. If you notice, when they want to put in a policy for Asians, Asians get into all kind of stuff on TV. When they want to put in a policy for homosexuals, homosexuals are in all kind of stuff, and then they just cut. They just quit. When they want to put in surveillance issue, they put people out to protest to make people believe that. So you all overstand, they're coming in with all kind of digital conversion. This is what Joe Biden's been talking about, the new liberal order. Him just put liberal in there so you don't know he's talking about the new world order. Because that's what European does. Control. And this is another level of control. And hey, some people want to be controlled and need to be controlled. So there you go. There is, Joe Biden telling you that they're going to cover the money. Now, when they cover all of that money and they give you back in digital currency, or they come with a different thing and say, okay, you need to do it like this because it's more secure, you're going to lick it up like a lapdog. So here we are reporting, ladies and gentlemen, two major banks, two of the biggest crash since Democrats were in power again, within 48 hours. And the government is going to pay back these multi-millionaires off the back of the poor people tax money. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Rastafari, soldier of Deep Roots TV. That wanna get me real hot. But hey, the reason why I'm reporting about this, as America cough and sneeze, Jamaica catch a cold. So when you use sleep amount debt, America at the sleep and Jamaica will get the debt. Look, at the same thing Jamaica come with, digital money. You think it's funny? So when you do certain things out there criminally and things that them can't find you, here come your real shackles. The digital currency, the CBDC, Central Bank Digital Currency. And a long time was the man I want, and I know that we still not going to listen what me I say. Uno going to sit down and allow these nefarious people, these sick psychopaths, to create a currency where you have to rely on artificial intelligence to eat. Ladies and gentlemen, no wake up yet. Oh no, still sleep? Alright, I'm Rastafari soldier, ladies and gentlemen. Deep Roots TV. I think that's enough. We can take a sleep. Hit that red subscribe button. Leave your comment. More life, more joy, more happiness. Fire key to the world. Tell every little boys and girl.
So from them mix with the fire, them have to mix with the lightning. Them mix with the lightning, them have to mix with the thunder. Them mix with the thunder, them got to mix with the world. And it's so black people I put the wicked them under. Hey Babylon, me see them a fret and them a wonder. Who flashy lightning and who roll the thunder? Deep root flashy lightning and him roll the thunder. Babylon, me see that them a panda. Look how much of the youth them will them shut and kill, look how much them put under. How much of the youth them will them send a dove cut ya. Where Babylon the fire burn no longer. Babylon the proofs full of say you can't turn ya. Fire key, Rastaman and a real fire key. Whoa, fire key, Rastafari soldier and fire key. Yeah, balang bang,
Pick up Deep Roots TV. Respect, make sure to tune in.